Hi guys, it's Tisha Kane. Hey, I felt compelled tonight to write down some action items of my fight in the family court in regards to my children. Today I had an amazing experience with a world-renowned podcast. What would you call her? Like a talk show host. She has 70,000 followers, and she asked me to be the season opener for her podcast. So I felt so blessed to be on that podcast today. So she's going to be airing that, which is so awesome. But when we were going through the structure of the podcast and I was trying to like arbitrarily, willy-nilly pull out all of the things that I've done in the family court over the 5 years, it was hard for me to, recall all of the things because there's just been so much. And so I thought I'd take a moment right now to document what I've been through and what I've done in the last 5 years. So 5 years ago, so November 16th, 2016, my kids were legally kidnapped from me. And the way that that happened was their dad brought a case to the family court with unclean hands, and he had several statements, but the one that was the most concerning and the one that he won the ex parte documentation through the court with this is what he said. He said that the mother has threatened to load the children up in her truck and drive them into a canal and kill them. So that's what he said in his documentation on November 16th, 2016. Now, I have partnered with many, hundreds of parents in my community, 413 to be precise. And something happened in 2016 that was like, whoa. Like something happened where the dark side knew that they could get darker or whatever. But 2016 seems to be like the magical number in the family court system where there were issues that, tons of kids were legally kidnapped, child trafficked, whatever, out of the family court. So I just wanted to make a record of the action items that just little old me, Tisha Marie Kane, here in good old Stanislaus County, California, what I've done to navigate through the family court system and to hopefully get my kids back. So let me just read this to you. Pretty astonishing. I filed over 25,000 pieces of paper with the family court. 25,000. I have over 5 full paper boxes of documents, requests for orders, motions, transcripts, all labeled with my kids' names on them. I attended weekly counseling. I attended parenting classes. These weren't ordered. These were things that I just did. I attended co-parenting therapy. I attended domestic violence counseling. I developed the Stanislaus Family Court Corruption website. I developed Facebook groups for victims of the family court here in my community. I helped design the logo for our Facebook and our website. I made business cards. I put 5,000 business cards all around the cars around our courthouse, on the DA's cars. Everybody's cars got business cards about the abuse and the corruption in the family court in California. I raised over $4,500 to put a billboard up for my children. We had the billboard up. It was, of course I had help, I couldn't do this alone, but raised over $4,500 to put that billboard up in Stanislaus County that said bad judges, bad mediators, keeping abuse a secret. And that was up. They had to swallow that. I spent $8,000 on an attorney, which is nothing compared to what the exes have spent. They've spent well over $100,000 to keep my kids from me. I joined law school. I had to take the LSAT. I had to study like crazy to pass the LSAT and attend law school. I guest starred on radio podcasts. I filed complaints with the DA. I filed complaints with the state bar. I filed complaints with the Commission on Judicial Performance. I did weekly 4-hour mentoring program to learn about laws and private laws and public laws. I set up meetings with the agency groups in my community to improve their programs. I filed complaints on the family court mediators when they overstep their boundaries. I filed a writ of mandamus with the appeals court. I challenged the judge for cause. I did a 170.1 and a 170.6. I found other parents to connect with in our community. I noticed the Navy about the corruption. I noticed the state of California about the corruption. I noticed the president at that time about the corruption. I met with several journalists to get our story out. I starred on Susan Bassey's YouTube channel. I developed my own YouTube channel. I noticed the sheriff about his job responsibilities. I filed a criminal complaint and an arrest report on 2 judges here in Stanislaus County. I legally sued 2 judges here in Stanislaus County. I opened up a civil lawsuit against the dads for a verified claim to get into a different venue because the family court system is broken. So my hope was to go over to the civil venue and have them return my property, which are my kids. I spent $6,000 on a full custody evaluation. I challenged the biology of the DNA of one of my offspring with the dad. I filed restraining orders. I beat my ex's wife in a restraining order. I filed small claims cases on my ex who stole everything from my house. I spent tons of money on consultations with attorneys here in the area and out of the area. I was a court watcher for other parents. I would just go sit in the court and watch the judges commit treason. I joined the court-appointed special advocate, so I'm a CASA advocate for foster youth. I did supervised visits with my kids. I did reunification therapy with my kids, which they shouldn't be ordering, but they did. I guided and helped a friend opened up her own supervised visits agency. I schooled the CFO of the courthouse on his job responsibilities. I schooled all of the clerks on their job responsibilities. I schooled the sheriff on his job responsibilities. I caught the judge using a counterfeit seal on my documents. And imagine that, a judge was using a counterfeit seal on my documents. But ignorance of the law is no excuse. And a judge is using a counterfeit seal? Amazing how I was able to find all of this. I partnered with California Family Rise, which is a Bay Area organization. I partnered with the Anti-Corruption Coalition down in LA. I partnered with the FCLA here in California and in Colorado. I won the Nevada Supreme Court for a fellow parent. As of today, October 28, 2021, I've been to court 183 times. I laugh now, but it's been a journey. I tried to keep my children's rooms the same as long as I could. It's so sad. It's almost like a child who runs out into the street and gets killed by a car, and the parents never go in the room and touch the kid's things. You just want to leave it just the way they had it. The kids being legally kidnapped, it feels like a death. I asked neighbors to put signs up in their yards in case the kids drove by, they could see that I love them. I contacted all news stations, all of them in California. I contacted all the newspapers in California. I cried, I screamed, I kicked, I broke things, I prayed, I asked the dads for forgiveness, I medicated at times to stay numb, I put cameras on my house to keep us safe, I wrote the children letters during the time that we were separated, I helped other parents navigate through the corrupt family court system, I became an excellent bookkeeper and organizer. Yeah, so I'm up to 67 things, and my children are still not home. And I miss them. And I'm just going to be completely raw. I've always been a good mom. And they will know that I've never given up on them. That I'll always fight for them. That I love them unlimited. No matter how much they're brainwashed, no matter how much they're abused, they know, they will know, I've never given up on my babies. Wouldn't you say I tried a lot? And I can honestly tell you that I won't stop. I won't. The most egregious crime is ripping these children away from their mom. And if you're watching, I want you to know that I love you. I will always love you. And I will always be here for you. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you, kiddos. And this is from a dad who said that I was going to load them up in my truck and kill them. He lied to the court and he got there first. He went in with unclean hands and he has been able to prevail. My babies have not been home in 5 years, and I have now not talked to them for 11 months. Thank you so much for watching and allowing me to make a record of the unlimited, unconditional love I have for my kids. And I know it's just a matter of time that they're going to come home and they're going to see. And when they do, I'm not going to talk bad about the dad. It don't matter. All this stuff's in the past. I'm just going to love all their pieces back together. We're just going to move forward together from here. I want all 4 of my kids to have a Thanksgiving meal again together. And it's a wish I pray for every single day. I love you guys. Peace and love, Tisha Kane.